This morning, we're going to practice two of the foundational practices of yoga. So the difference between a beginner class and this class is that the beginner class will focus pretty specifically on the body and the flow of the breath. Every single yoga class has elements of that throughout. The asana, the movement of the body, and then that matching up with the flow of the breath are some of the ways that we begin to take a step into these more subtle practices, such as Pratyahara. So Pratyahara is a Sanskrit term that translates as the withdrawal of the senses. So one of the things that yoga teaches you how to do is how to place less importance on what you're experiencing externally and turn the senses, the same senses we would use to interact with our outside world, and start to have a clearer picture of what's happening internally. So that's Pratyahara. It's one of the main limbs. There's 8 limbs of yoga from the Yoga Sutras. That's one of them. And it starts out with lifestyle practices, the way you interact with yourself, then gets into asana and breathing, and then Pratyahara. So it's a very subtle practice, and it takes a lot of time to be able to divest yourself of the importance of the sense stimuli that you receive. So some of the ways that we are able, with some of the yogic techniques that we use to be able to start to mitigate the information we receive and turn ourselves inward, are things like the drishti. So drishti refers specifically to the placement of your eyes. So your eyes, where you place them as you put your body into asana, is important. Like I said yesterday, if you are looking at something and then thinking about that thing, close your eyes. If you close your eyes and you start to make lists of what's going to happen later today or this week, open your eyes, okay? There's also an element of sound. There is a meditation. We're not going to do this particular meditation today, but we will kind of dip into it in other classes. There's a meditation called Antar Mauna, and it's the practice of paying close attention to your senses as it relates to very close to the body and then gradually further away and then back close to the body. So it's just a training exercise, basically. So this is what we're going to be doing today. So we'll listen to the sound of the breath, right? And that will translate to the physicality internally of how the breath affects us. We'll focus our eyeballs so that we don't have to worry about what we're looking at. That inner eye, right? The mind's eye is trained inside so that we have an awareness of I'm a visual learner, and the information that I get, the feedback that I get from my physical form is mostly images and impressions, right? My body can't literally have a conversation with me, but if I'm quiet enough and paying close enough attention, I'll start to get impressions. And that kind of thing can help me make decisions that are more based on what's good for me as opposed to what external pressures I might be perceiving. Okay, so that's the gist.